Good morning. It is Thursday, March 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day for those of you who celebrate it. I am a day late. Yes, I understand that. But I'm a day late because I took yesterday off from the shop and I went with Matt, who I've mentioned before has helped me out in the shop here, and I'm helping kind of share some of my understanding with him. Matt and I went out and did some crystal shopping yesterday. He wanted to see some different crystal shops, so I took him out to some of the ones that are here nearby, and I'll kind of tell you a little bit about them. We started yesterday at Bernie's Rock Shop. Now, Bernie's Rock Shop is in Madison, Wisconsin. It has two locations, and that's Bernie's, spelled B-U-R-N-I-E-S. And we went to their older location, which is on Johnson Street. And Bernie's Rock Shop is a great shop to find all kinds of your basic crystals, your basic minerals, but they also have a few unusual and fancier ones. But Bernie's is also really great for people who are into lapidary. They have rock tumblers, they have grit, they have equipment for creating your own jewelry. They do carry a nice selection of cabs and slices. And you can really do a lot of different things out of Bernie's Rock Shop. So we went to Bernie's yesterday, and I found a couple of things at Bernie's that just made my little heart just go nuts. The first thing that I found was something called Fordite. Okay, and as you can see, this isn't a real big piece because I'm on a good budget. This is my second piece of Fordite. Let me see if I can get my other piece out here quick. Fordite is a really neat kind of joke. Fordite, to the best of my understanding, Fordite came about in around the 50s or 60s. And here's my other piece of it. Okay. From my understanding, the way the story goes is there was a gentleman who used to work for the Ford factory, the Ford plant. And his job, one of the jobs that he had, was to clean the paint, chip the paint off of the paint machines, the machines that actually sprayed the cars. This is back when they used to spray the cars with actual paint. And so he would do this. And one day it came into his head as he was chipping off all this paint, perhaps he should tumble it and just see what comes of it. And he tumbled it, and it was really beautiful, and I guess he started selling it to the mineral community, and they just kind of went nuts for it. And what I had always understood was that if you buy it with a certificate, it's Fordite, but if you buy it without, it's Detroit stone. But that being said, I guess it really doesn't matter because it all comes down to the same essential product. It is a beautiful chipped paint that has been tumbled. It's layers and layers and layers of different car paints. Now, you can go out on the internet, I've seen on eBay, where you can go out on the internet and you can get specific Fordite for, like, say, Corvette in 67. And it will just hold the colors of the Corvette for that particular year or that particular era, which I think is kind of neat, too. So I picked up a new piece of Fordite, which I'd been looking for another one. Also at Bernie's, I picked up for the shop, I picked up ametrine, and I don't know if I'm going to get a good catch on this. But if you kind of look at that, you can kind of see in the middle here, there's like a yellow, and the rest of it is like a real pale purple. So ametrine is a blending of stones. Ametrine is citrine and amethyst that are fused together. Again, to my best understanding, amethyst and citrine are roughly the same product. It's just a matter of how much heat has been applied. So you got to figure this would be like amethyst being formed with a blast of heat that goes through the center of it and creates that citrine in the center of it. So I picked up some ametrine for the shop. I have found that ametrine is really good for bringing together the different aspects of self, unifying more of your external and your internal selves. I picked another piece up just for myself, and this is a little piece called K2. Letter K, number 2. And you'll see it's kind of a grayish white with some blue spots in it. So the grayish white part, that is granite. And the bluish spots, once I drop it all over the place, the bluish spots are either azurite or afghanite. It's called K2 because it comes from the K2 mountain in Afghanistan. and they're not entirely sure quite what those little blue spots are. But they think that that's a good mineral for connecting to higher self, working with migraines and headaches. And that's not a bad little piece. This is a $4 piece. You figure it's about as big as my thumb joint. So $4 for a piece like that, that's not too bad, and it's polished. So that I got at Bernie's, and then we went over to Mimosa, and we checked out Mimosa. And Mimosa is a great little New Age bookshop downtown off of State Street. They're on Gilman. And Mimosa carries everything. They've got a lot of crystals. Ashley, one of the owners there, Ashley is a huge crystal healer and has her own healing school and everything. But Ashley makes sure they have a good supply of crystals in there. And there's also books and statues and incense and candles and journals and all manner of great things. Gary Labe from Full Moon Farm Crafts that makes our soaps and our medicine pouches for here. He carries medicine pouches there as well. So he's kind of getting around. Go Gary! So then we went to Mimosa, and then from there we went to a business called Minerals and More. They're in Verona on Trails Edge Drive, I think it is. And they're a newer shop. They used to be Relics in Madison, but I think it's some of the previous employees bought the business and opened it and became Minerals and More. But I could be wrong. You can look that up. And they are a really nice little shop that carries a lot of nicer, higher-end crystals, more showpieces. And they have some really beautiful stuff in there. And they've got a very nice shop that's got nice high ceilings and lots of light and some room to move around in. And it looks like they have classes as well. And then we ended up in Stevens Rocks and Minerals. I always call him Stevens shop over in Marshall, Wisconsin. And that's out past Sun Prairie just a piece. And he's right on Main Street. And Stevens is a Rockhounds shop. He's got a lot of great pieces, and he's got flats and flats and flats and flats of stones. So when you first walk in, it looks like there's 1,000,005 stones to look at. There's more. And there's a whole other hidden room that most people aren't readily aware of when you get there. And he has some really nice specimens that are mid-grade to high-grade at good prices, really nice prices. And when I was there, I didn't buy any crystals yesterday. Matt bought a couple. But I did buy these because I've had some people asking for these. And these are little springy cages. And what these do is they allow for you to insert crystals. So I'm going to just drop this little Detroit stone in here. Try and get him to stand up maybe. There we go. And now you can hang that on a pendant. You can have that energy of that crystal there without having the commitment of a setting and the expense of a setting. And this way you can buy tumbleds without having to pay for, again, the expense of set jewelry. And then when you're ready to trade it out, you just pop her open and slide the little guy out of there. This is kind of an awkward piece to be doing it with because it's so flat and slippery. Then you just pop it right back out and you're ready to slide another little crystal in there. So I'm going to have these at the shop now, and I'll have the ametrine here at the shop. Ametrine is going on the dollar table just like all my other tumbled crystals. And the cages I think they're going to be $5. So keep that in mind if you're interested in them. So yeah, so that's what we did yesterday. And I just kind of wanted to wait and do my video so that I could show you any little things that we might have picked up. So I hope you're okay with that. If not, I'm sorry. That's what happened this week. I am up to 20 hours of community service. And charity for the week. Oh, biscuits. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I talked a few weeks ago about an acquaintance of ours, Dana, who had cancer and has a GoFundMe page. And I told you a little bit about GoFundMe and how GoFundMe works too, okay? So I'm going to do another one from GoFundMe today. And I'm looking it up, so that's why I'm not really making good eye contact at the moment. Heidi Shields. Okay, so my friend Heidi Shields, okay, she's a good friend of ours, and she is a helper. She specifically with animals, but she is a big helper. She has in the past run a shelter, and literally ran that shelter in a way that put everything that those animals needed before anything that she wanted or needed. And it's a very hard and unappreciated job many times, which is kind of sad, because we need more people like Heidi that are out there that are willing to put themselves on the line to help animals, because animals really can't speak for themselves. But this isn't about Heidi, and this isn't about her animals. This is about a friend of Heidi's, and I'm trying to find the page here real quick. Heidi had a friend named Terri Firehawk, and I didn't know Terri, okay, so I'm speaking purely through what I understand from Heidi's GoFundMe page. Terri had cancer, and things were starting to look really good for her, and they were doing some money raising for her to try and help her partner out. Her partner is Cheryl. However, things, I think, went rather south rather quickly, and Terri passed away earlier last week, I believe it is. They are still running a GoFundMe page. They're running a GoFundMe page because Cheryl needs help. Cheryl needs help with cremation. Cheryl needs help with burial. Cheryl needs help with the time that she's taking off of work to deal with the logistics of the death of her partner, but also with the emotions of the death of her partner. And I don't think I know a single human being on the face of this planet that isn't in some way touched by cancer, whether it's them personally, somebody that they love, or even just the understanding of the people around you who may be dealing with cancer in some way. So today I'd kind of like to send you over to Terri Firehawk's page and see if you can't maybe help Cheryl out just a bit. Throw her a buck or two. Any little thing is going to help, because it's not easy dealing with the loss of a loved one, and it's even harder to deal with the loss of a loved one when you don't know where your finances are going to come from to make sure that you're doing right by their memory. Okay? So I'm trying to see the best way to give you guys the link on this one. I'm going to put the link down in the subject line, okay, or down in the message line down below. So take a look down there, okay? But essentially it's on GoFundMe, which is gofundme.com, and it's under Friends of Terri, Terri, Firehawk, just the way it sounds. So, yeah, I hope you guys kind of go out and check that out, see if you can help out a little bit. Other than that, have a great St. Patrick's Day. For those of us that are in the United States and actually appreciate college basketball, go Jayhawks! I am a big Jayhawks fan, and today is the first day of March Madness, and they play at 4 o'clock, and I'm in the middle of piano lessons. They'll be wrapping up about the time I get out of lessons, so I'll be able to catch the end of it. But go Jayhawks! Take it all this year. I know I'm kind of an oddball in that up here in Wisconsin, but you know, that's nothing new. And I hope you guys all have a great week. Happy spring. That's this Sunday. And I'll see you guys next week on Wednesday. Bye.